Okay. We all ready? Sorry, this is just a rehearsal, so no worries. Okay, so here we go. We're going. And action.
Mikey! Core! You're hidden! I got your maple bacon from stage 29. Extra crispy. Can I have a piece? You can have the whole plate, bud. Oh, thanks! Love you! Hey, Mikey! Kev!
You're my best friend.
You're my best friend. It's a good take. It's bacon.
What? I love my job.
Hey, Mikey!
Neil!
Just want to let you know, I'm gonna shut up all day! Yeah.
Mikey!
Mikey. And cut.
Every person that wants to make a living in a creative endeavor that I've ever known or met has those moments where it's like, you doubt that it'll ever happen.
It shook me for a while. Like I thought, I was like, this is one of those moments where like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And you know, one thing about Los Angeles is like, it'll eat you up as quickly as it takes you in.
If I'm really chasing anything, it's self-discovery and learning more about myself and the people around me and what we can find out about the world and find out about ourselves and how we fit in the world.
I'm haunted as history comes and culminates. We're fed the things we're taught to hate, unwanted. The paths they carve to take us there's all politics and disrepair.
If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it's the hard that makes it good. And I remind myself of that all the time. It's the hard that makes it good.
I've seen it. My bigger hole.
It's something that we enjoy doing, and I think we try to make each other laugh as much as we can. And at the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters.
With the answers we
Flip? Kind of look like it, don't they? Yeah! To be honest with you, I wrote bacon into the script so I could have a reason to buy it.
You always need a reason for bacon.
And I can write it off. Found a way to tax efficiently eat bacon. Is it stressful? Yeah, it's fucking stressful. It's super stressful, man. Especially not making money doing it. See, what you're gonna do first is you're gonna cover the pan until it's nice and hot, and you're gonna put your face right on it, right, Core? The pot of water with the amount of water that is the amount you want. Let me put it this way. One of my favorite quotes comes from my favorite musician, Jason Mraz. He goes, to me, success is not the money you have in your bank account. It's not the amount of cars you own. It's not, your escrow. It's not whatever it is. He goes, to me, success is a question I ask myself. Am I fulfilled? And if at the end of the day I can say yes, then I'm successful. And so far, every day with Storyboard has been a yes. You got what? What does that do? cheer stick to make you tear. Tear up if you need it. Oh, I'm an emotional being. I could probably just make it happen.
Rarely will I take it for granted, but sometimes I do forget how incredibly rare and how incredibly lucky I am to be surrounded by folks that want to do the thing that I've done since I was a kid. And it's just, be silly. Only now sometimes we have to re-improvise it for camera, or write it down. That's the responsible part, or the responsibility part is remembering it.
So we're gonna put that in Neil's underpants?
Yeah.
So it truly did make living in this fucking shitty town, yeah, I said it, actually, kind of worth it and bearable, because I have a community that I do the stuff that I love to do with.
I have all my props.
Just keep in mind right now that Neil is late.
So we know who to publicly shame.
I gotta support him at all costs.
Man of the hour.
You guys need to drop.
Hey, Neil.
People always say, in order to have opportunity, you have to create opportunity. But I've seen it in LA in a different way. People in big cities are not just looking for opportunities, they're creating opportunities. And I see that here. And I've been more motivated to create my own opportunities in LA than I ever was in New York or Chicago.
Great thing that I love about working with everyone here for Storyboard and PAs is it's a safe place where you can explore things creatively.
This industry, being an actor is based in playing and imagination, and yet I think that's the first thing to go a lot of the time, because there's such a pressure to succeed and there's such a pressure to be a certain way, act a certain way, look a certain way, whatever it is, that the first thing we lose is the childlike essence of why we got into it in the first place.
I get in places where the only thing I want to do is move back home and quit and not be an actor or a thinker anymore and just go be a teacher. And then you're teachers have the hardest job in the world, but fill in the blank, go home and do something else. But storyboard's always the thing that keeps me here and keeps me focused on rediscovering a love for this art, because it's hard sometimes, but you're around people that don't want to quit because it's fun, and that's it. It's such a good atmosphere. So no, we don't ever feel too tired to work because it doesn't really feel like work.
I'm ready when y'all are to run through this.
So I got all you guys here.
Yeah.
You wearing flip-flops?
Well, we don't need to worry about costs or anything right now. We're just going over block.
Don't put on shoes.
Hey, Mikey. Just want to let you know that I'm going to shut up all day.
You're good, Mikey. So swing back around.
Okay. What was that?
We all ready?
Construction's always so good for filming.
Okay, so here we go. We're going. And action.
What's going on?
Oh, Rachel McAdams. She's sending me pictures from Spain on set. They're nudes.
No, they're not. I mean, what's going on with him?
Oh, B-boy out there. Well, he got a concussion and now he thinks he's being chased by birds.
No.
I guess it does work better
What's happening with Kevin?
my noises. With or without? If that were to be I was thinking.
Yeah, I cut it after the rap.
Okay.
And I cut it right when you said when you don't see anyone. Seriously? Talking about the door?
No, I'm talking about my
Good, actually.
the audible yells. They just it would be too distracting.
Inside an Arby's bathroom.
I put one one tiny
Cut off
one.
his eyebrows with a spork, all singing the rap from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
You go Ninja Gosa?
Copy.
No.
Copy that.
What?
Are you that out of shape?
Just been running around trying to find
It was like a order of this copy. It should be done.
something.
We should hear copy,
Yeah,
copy.
that sounds
nothing.
insanely suspicious. That's fine.
I wondered that myself.
So let's copy, nothing.
You're going
Mikey?
to copy nothing.
And then Mikey. Yeah, copy, copy,
Oh yeah.
nothing,
Who's the first copy?
Mikey.
You.
You.
It should be
were.
like
Second
you,
copy.
then me.
Me.
I don't give a copy.
And then after the nothing, and then the Mikey,
Because
and then you can
nothing is
go.
like you say a line right
I
after.
say a line right after commenting.
I know. I thought about that too. What if it's
Makes no sense. I
Oh.
did it in that order, and it's like, what the hell?
okay? Then what about you,
Mikey,
Mikey, nothing, me?
Yeah.
Time out. I have a question. I don't say copy.
No, but you go.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you want that?
which is
Okay,
fine.
perfect.
Wait. So are you trying to say, can you cut more off? Like, so
It starts around there.
Because then, yeah, because then
Okay, I see
the
what
whole
you're saying.
copies are bookended by real copies.
say it.
The
And the ones in the middle
nothingness is
are
what
the
it
are the
is.
jokes.
You don't get that it should
Well,
be
I
copy.
mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's bookended up by copies either way.
That jump.
No,
Yeah.
you just think you're.
I don't know, I just think it's
like,
better
you
this
don't
way.
Get that you're just not
Yeah.
saying copy.
It was just switching the Kevin and the Mikey.
Switching the Kevin and the Mikey, yeah.
It's sort of escapist in a way, because you're like, I don't want to be here, so let me create this other world that I can kind of play inside. And then from that, I just was like, well, why can't I just make this my world? Why can't I just make all of these things that I love doing the things I do all the time? And then it's no longer escapist, you're just living a dream.
What's up?
Oh, hey!
Welcome to another episode of Hello Kitchen.
But before PAs, yeah, this was all, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just want to make a silly video, you know? I just want to spitball something. Probably not the best idea, but I just want to get the ball rolling. Someone's got to say it. Over the pants hand jobs.
Excuse me?
Well, it would be hand jobs over the pants after each sale.
One of the things that's hard is that two-sided coin, or double-edged sword, or whatever. I don't know what even the best analogy would be of just time and money.
We don't have red cameras just at disposal. We don't have like the top line audio equipment at disposal. We don't have like 1 ton like lighting system. So we very much have to like be at the best of our ability to like shoot as best as we can, as stable as we can, to get really good at like what we can do.
Everything we do feels impossible when we're writing it out in a fun way. It's like, that's how we're gonna do that, and that becomes like almost the impetus to do it. Is it sounds hard, so let's go fucking do it.
If the Bible was written on regular like MLA format,
Jeez.
for like 5,000 pages. Yeah, exactly.
So we are our own bosses. We write at our own pace. We put in the things that we want to put in. And, you know, that's a freedom that you don't get afforded to you a lot of times when you have to work for someone else.
It's like beats. Your first beat of like the Herald, you'll say, is a really long scene. Second beat, a little shorter. Third beat is by the time
Basically
you
just punchline.
is boom, you're over. It's just get the joke out.
I'm good.
It's because the viewer's brain has caught on and it needs to be over.
They're expecting
So-
a joke.
That's good?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
Great job, Corey.
And I take a lot of pride in that we do, even though this is a grassroots outfit, we treat it like it's, you know, like we got producers and EPs and, you know, important people behind us that are like, you know, going to shoot us with a Nerf gun if we fuck up.
People don't understand how much work goes into this.
They really don't.
The thing is also...
They don't.
No, they have no idea.
Like it
Oh,
goes
that's
into
cute. You made a video. I'm like, you asshole. We spent 90 hours on this
No,
episode.
do you want to, I'll record a video for you that anytime someone says, oh, that's cute, you show them the video of me at my editing booth and I go, fuck you.
You have no idea.
Time and money can like seem like the enemy, but sometimes constraints can allow you to produce really cool stuff. You know, you're like, well, we don't have the time. We have one night, right? Okay, well, we don't have the money. We have whatever the 6 of us combined can pull out of our bank accounts right now for this one shoot. You know, and sometimes you have to get creative, and then you end up making something that on the surface, on paper, seems really simple or simplistic, but then the actual production of it is something really special.
Fine. I'll tell her to take a shit. She's never gonna do it.
Do I see myself in him? Yeah, sure. I mean, we're PAs.
Steven, are we supposed to have this girl in shot?
No, she's fumbling around her belt. Steven, do you want me to keep rolling? She do not cut. For the love of God, do not cut.
We literally don't matter. The thing is that we don't matter together.
She's shitting? There's an extra in my frame! Don't say something! Get her away from Michael Sarah. Can someone get Kazan out of here?
You guys are the closest thing to a family that I've ever had.
She's somebody's niece. I don't fucking know. Get out of here! Okay, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still rolling.
quarter be the mother.
I love that it just devolves into utter chaos.
The cops said everything's gonna be fine. Everything. Oh my God, they're tasing her!
Mikey would be there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna focus to the taser. Oh, she's down. Oh, I see it.
Neil would be like this feral cat. We fed once and it just keeps coming around the house, and then we had to set out a trap to kill it.
One cop threw up on her.
All right, guys, back to one.
Dude,
That little moment of silence.
all right, everybody, back to one. We're on a time crunch.
She did it. So stupid. She shit.
She shit. She shit.
What's going on?
Your Alabama accent goes Hey, out. Mal. She shit. She shit.
What's the point of being boner pilots?
So here's where the color changes.
Show
And
up.
I agree.
Did something shitty happen?
I'm a really big stickler for cutting on the beat because I really like, it makes me feel good. Just put it right there. All right, so we'll take that back.
My parents are two of the most supportive individuals ever.
And I grew up in a modest family household. I always just said, we're poor, but then my parents were like, don't say we're poor. But we were kind of poor.
My mom's a teacher. My dad is like financial guy. Sorry, Dad. That's not an interesting way of putting what you do.
Newborns, 5-year-olds, and 10-year-olds all moved into this neighborhood as it was being built. So you're just surrounded by kids in the best decade ever, the 90s, so you're just constantly challenging your own imagination to have fun. But that brought out like a jovial silliness to me that I felt my purpose in every friend group since was to just be the funny one.
I can't speak for all Asian people, but I'm going to speak for all Asian people and say, if your parent didn't ask you at the age of like 4 what you want to be when you grow up, you might have had like a very lenient parent. But, you know, asking every year, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Deion Sanders. I wanted to be a 2-sport athlete more than anything in the world. Baseball and football. That's all I wanted to do.
I started doing plays around like 7 or 8 years old, and then the bug just bit. Like, my parents tried sports and they tried all those different things, and it was like I would just stand there. I was not interested.
I went to a performing arts school where I got to do musical theater 2 periods, all 4 years.
I was terrible in school. Like, just horrible.
The moment I can get my hands on a camera, I was like, I'm going to start making stuff.
I had written a short film when I was like 12 and filmed it all in a day on my dad's camcorder with the help of my parents.
Write them on Microsoft Word and shoot them and then edit them in Windows Movie Maker. They were all garbage. All garbage. So much garbage. But rewatching like Jim Carrey's The Mask multiple times, a bunch of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone stuff, to the point where I was able to memorize the movie. And that's what became of me. I was like, I want to do that. I want to make movies, and I want a kid at home to be able to memorize the movies I make.
There was a sense of inevitability. There was a sense of it was an ineluctable thing. It was going to happen. I was going to be an actor and a writer until I died.
You know, when you're 15, you're trying to, relate to something or be, have some sort of identifier. So I was bouncing between them all until I graduated high school. The plan was to move to California.
is the hub of film, film culture, and there's just so many artists here. I mean, it's a cultural metropolis, like it has been for 100 years. People always ask me when they find out that I've lived in like the 3 biggest cities, and they're like, "What's your favorite?" Without hesitation, I always say Los Angeles.
There's so much. You can act. You can make a career as a commercial actor. You don't have to be that level to just make a little bit of a living or like to get that juice. You know, you can constantly chase the thing, and you get it little by little, and you learn little by little and a lot by a lot. But this is the best place I think to do what we do and what we want to do. I mean, it has its downfalls and has its, you know, it's like every city, there's things you don't like about it.
It's been a very interesting ride. I mean, you obviously can't predict what's going to happen.
I mean, I've met some great people out here, but I've also met some monsters.
I remember I was so lonely, and I wasn't used to being lonely yet. Now I'm totally great at it. So I was forced to just be super neurotic, and I learned what anxiety was. I really learned what depression was.
And so even though those first like 6 months, 12 months were maybe not the most exciting or the most encouraging time, I still knew I was in the right place. I still had the sense, the feeling that LA was where I was supposed to be.
Are you happy that you moved to LA?
Now I am. Sucked for a while. It took me like 2, maybe even more years to actually make this place feel like home whatsoever. You know, it wasn't until like 3 years that I met Corey and Tom and Neil and Mikey and Dana. It wasn't until like I met those guys that we actually started doing stuff. Because I mean, in my opinion or in my experience, Storyboard came out of sheer desperation. For me, at least. I mean, it was a put up or shut up type situation.
Got the shakes. It's all that goddamn Red Bull.
Yeah.
Kevin was kind enough to tell me that I already have lines under my eyes that he could just follow, which is great.
Super easy now.
Yeah.
It's like a coloring book. I came out here and, you know, there was a long time where I didn't have a job.
I walked dogs. I made next to nothing. Got tricked into being an independent contractor, so I owed $3,000 at the end of the year. And I made a month. I only made $200 more than my rent. Yeah, that's great.
And then we're gonna do a little bit of yellow.
Sweet.
On the outside of it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But like, I had learned so much in that time, because out of necessity, I learned how to do taxes. I learned how to pay bills. I learned how to manage rent. I learned how to like live with roommates. I learned how to find my way around any city, because I had to survive.
Were you ready for that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think I was ready to go home. Because you get here and you realize, like, there aren't just talent scouts, like, at Ralph's waiting to find the next big thing. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I can't do this. I mean, the city is, I'm not ready at all. And I wasn't.
Yeah. I like that. It's good. I just want to thin out the yellow just a little bit.
On my side, it's pretty.
Yeah, there we go. Just blend it in around the edges. I think we're good.
I never expected it to be this hard. I've been here 5 years, and the last 3 I've worked my fucking ass off.
From off camera over here, it's gonna be Mikey Pants now, and we're gonna go from fine. I'm just gonna finish this beer, and then I'm all says, it's 8 a.m. Yeah, here.
Sorry, I'm just kind of having to make my decisions. A lot of stuff tonight. A lot of stuff to do already.
I think the thing that I wanted more than anything was to get an agent. That's, I think, where I was like, I'll move out to LA, I'll work, I'll do improv, I'll do what I need to do, student films, short films with my friends, hopefully build up a reel, and be able to get an agent. And it hasn't happened in that linear way. It was like, I do this, I do that, I get an agent. Success.
It is practical. What is this?
Corey is trying something, I think.
So
Because I saw like keep them both in frame, so they should.
you set up lines right here behind him. So much food you need to go
I sort of thought like by doing community theater that would happen. That there might be a talent scout or an agent in the audience at this like at Pearland Theater Guild, you know, during the nerd. It's like, I'm the lead, maybe I'll get discovered. Fuck no, it doesn't work that way here. And it never will. It might have one day, you know, but I thought it would kind of be easy.
In the plan of saying opening. So like I like the more dramatic look on him on the and so I like that as you are gonna cross over and you will plot it.
No, there's nothing in it.
Corey,
I kind of need a little space.
Is it possible to like kind of see what the like quote unquote profile?
Do you like being
like they just laid that out.
Yeah, like take them off and look at it.
It kind of houses everything like from Mikey's perspective on the couch. He's kind of the center of the universe here.
But out here, man, I feel like you gotta just juggle a million plates at once and hopefully somebody, or like hopefully one of those plates is your call. But it is about positioning yourself and being in the right room and doing all the pre-work. I mean, the amount of hours that I gotta spend at a computer every day submitting for jobs. I might probably submit for 100 jobs a day and then maybe get one audition out of them. And you just gotta like, kind of get used to that.
And I told myself, okay, auditions are tedious. Driving, you know, to the west side for a one-line commercial where everybody else in the room looks like you and they're probably prettier than you and put together and all these different things. I was like, when I book it, it'll be fun because I'm making the money and I'm on set and whatever. And I remember the first commercial I booked this KFC commercial, and nobody was very nice. Nobody really wanted to talk.
You may even be in a show or something and you're like, it's just not a show I want to be in. You book something but you're like, what? I'm not excited about this role, you know, or it doesn't pay very much. You know, that's one of the things where it's like, I want to make a living, and you get really excited about booking something and then you find out that you're only going to make $100 and you go, okay, all right, well, gotta start somewhere, you say every single year for a decade.
You know, you end up doing a lot of like soul-stealing jobs. I've had those soul-stealing experiences where I worked on something I was very excited about, but then the entire production and like the director just kind of made it a very negative experience.
And I just walked away from that being like, wow, that was me booking the job and it wasn't fun. And I don't know if I enjoyed it, and I don't enjoy the audition process.
I think that's a part of the culture that is really kind of toxic. Is that everyone's looking out for number one. You know, what can they give you, or like what can you get from them?
And that's what kind of happens. You get kind of pigeonholed into whatever people see you as and whatever's best suited for their needs. And so it kind of sucks where you're like, everyone needs to do jack of all trades and all this stuff, but then whatever the one that you fall into, you end up being that for years and years.
I think people don't want to highlight that. They don't want to highlight how hard it is. They rather just have people see them be successful all the time, that they don't push themselves to the next level.
I've had to ask myself those moments of like, if the rest of my life was going to be like this, would I still want to make films? And it shook me for a while. Like I thought, I was like, this is one of those moments where like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And you know, the one thing about Los Angeles is like, it'll eat you up as, you know, quickly as it takes you in.
And I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged and throw the towel in on their dreams, so to say, is that if they are given the opportunity, they find that it's work. It's a lot of work, and it's determined by whether or not that at the end of a 10-hour editing, writing, acting, shooting, whatever day it is, 10, 12, 14 hours, you're exhausted, but are you elated? Are you fulfilled to be that exhausted because all you've done all day is the thing you love? Yes, I am.
And a lot of it comes back to like that depression, is like when you're not doing something, you're not making stuff, and you're not like working that muscle, you get very lonely very fast and very depleted and feels empty. So having a team that always wants to work on stuff, even when it's hard, even when we're tired, to find something to work on, it's really rare. It's really inspiring, and it makes you not want to stop. To where it's not really even an option.
All right, here we go.
Sounds good.
Camera. All right, another lint roller. Take 3. And action.
Okay, put the chore plant on the table and help Mikey get ready.
Why is Mikey not ready?
I can't. There's lint in my pants. Okay, well, I'm in charge of that, so Neil, hand me the lint roller, please. I'm gonna take care of this. Oh! God! Neil! Who throws overhand? Oh, you bully!
God! Oh man! Oh my God!
Was that good? Did it look good?
Oh,
that
can I see?
sounded really good.
Did I overact it too much? It sounded excellent.
Yeah?
Yes. Jesus. Okay, well, I'm in charge of that, so Neil, hand me the lint roller, please. I'm gonna take care of this. Oh, God. I wanna see. Can you hear my It's so good.
Oh my God! Can we see it again?
Just right in the way.
You can see that. Really?
Yeah, really.
We're gonna cut. Yeah,
I think we just need I think you need the close now. But you can cut it too.
I don't know what's going on back
like
there.
after, I don't know. I think that's it.
They'll be off in a second.
Frogtown.
Well, so what has Storyboard meant to you then?
I mean, Storyboard, it means a lot to me. Mainly because, we were all in a bad spot when it started.
Whatever endeavor I'm taking on, like Storyboard's always the main reason to stay. Because they bring an energy to me and they bring something out of me that just feels right.
And that's why even if every episode of PAs or sketch we do, it's not like, oh my God, this is a masterpiece and it's viral. It's, for me at the very least, it's not about that. It's about the creative experience shared with people that I just love so much. And that's for me, that's the point to doing any of it.
And of course, there's times where I'm sitting there going like, I haven't made a goddamn cent off this, and am I crazy? Is this the definition of insanity, to do the same thing over and over again expecting different results,
And far from being discouraging, it's, in a way, it never lets you be complacent, There's never a time when you can just say, well, I can just coast now, because the artistic world will just move on without you.
Doing that is hard, where we have to focus. We have to make sure that our time is balanced between making sure that we can continue living in Los Angeles, because a lot of us, we've put in our minds there's no backup plan. If nothing works out, then we just go back home, and it's we want to make sure we don't go back home.
I miss the ignorance is bliss part of your life, where every new thing is so exciting because it's just new and the weight isn't there yet and you're still fresh to it all. And I think I've been here. I wish I wasn't crying. I've been here long enough now that I think I'm certainly not jaded by any means, but I appreciate the deeper level of understanding that I have now. The curtain's been pulled back, and I understand those things, which I'm so grateful for. But I miss when it was just all sparkly and new and wonderful and fun in a lot of ways.
Celebrating, really, we're showing 10, but we're kind of celebrating all of season 1 PAs. It's been a fun little journey that's turned into something much bigger than we had ever thought it was going to be. From a sketch about Daniel Day-Lewis shitting his pants every take because he's so method, to story arcs and relationships and friendships.
Storyboard and PAs, and that group of people, like, it's just one of the best things in my life.
Whether we're creating stuff or just hanging out, talking about life and discovering things together and discovering ourselves together, that's a huge reason why I'm still here. Probably the reason why I'm still here.
I moved down to LA and said, I'm here to make films, not friends. But you have to make one if you're going to make the other.
And I gotta entertain myself somehow. Only in this environment, this world, it seems like it's for a purpose.
I mean, even if nothing happens with Storyboard and everything goes to shit, I've made lifelong friends, and I'm grateful for that.
They're my best friends, so it makes it easy. Oh, sappy, shut up.
The experience that you had of doing it, and the rehearsals and the late nights and everything, that's the part that you remember and you cherish.
And those are the moments I think I can really sit back and say, I'm glad I stayed in Los Angeles, and I'm glad that I'm still doing this.
Well, of course it's hard. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it's the hard that makes it good. And I remind myself of that all the time. It's the hard that makes it good. To this place where all of this stuff is happening feels like I've climbed a mountain. You know, a mountain that I had no doubt I would reach the top of, but also a mountain that I knew that once I reached the top of it, I feel so pompous saying this, but like reaching the top of it, I was like, I knew I was going to see another one after it. And because there's always another one. There's always another one.